Rachel Reeves.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I would like to thank the Chancellor for advance sight of his statement this afternoon. Families are worried, sick to their stomach, about what is happening at the moment, but the Prime Minister says, don't worry, it will all be OK. But it's not going to be OK for the millions of homeowners who face an average increase of mortgage costs this year of £2,900. And all of this during a wider cost of living crisis. Now, the Prime Minister told the country yesterday to hold its nerve. But where are people supposed to find the money in the meantime to pay for the Tory mortgage bombshell? The Chancellor and the Prime Minister have not yet said. For many, the Tory mortgage bombshell will mean holidays cancelled, families' savings draining away and missing out on days spent with family and friends. But for others, it could be much worse. Not moving up the housing ladder, but heading down it through no fault of their own. The Chancellor doesn't need to take my word about how many people will be facing the Tory mortgage bombshell. He could speak to any of the 11,600 families in his own constituency who will be paying £450 more every month in mortgage costs alone as a result of this Conservative government. The Resolution Foundation estimate that millions of households will have to pay a combined total of £15.8 billion more in mortgage payments a year by 2026. That is just devastating. The Tories gambled last autumn with people's livelihoods, and since then things have got worse, not better. Yet ministers take no responsibility for the damage that they have caused and blame anything and everyone else. Yet again today, the government claims that there are global factors, that it's all global factors. Yet the latest data show that a typical household in Britain is now paying over £2,000 more per year for their mortgage than in France, over £1,000 more per year than in Ireland or Belgium, and over £800 per year more than in Germany. Now, the Chancellor is going to need a better scapegoat. Labour set out our plans last week. Our measures were a requirement. Yes, a requirement. Because all lenders need to play their part when people are struggling. Our plan would have provided real help, but government have provided just a bad cover version. While many banks and building societies are doing the right thing by their customers, a voluntary set of measures is just not good enough. The Chancellor today said that the voluntary measures would cover 85% of the mortgage market. What is his answer for the more than 1 million families who are missing out because their lender hasn't signed up to this scheme? Tough luck? Just how bad does it have to get before the Chancellor recognises that mandatory action is needed to provide meaningful assistance? So I would like to ask the Chancellor the following questions. Can he confirm what consequences there are for firms who have not signed up to this scheme? Where is the plan for renters, who the Chancellor didn't even mention in his statement today, many of whom are paying higher rents because the mortgage costs of their landlords have gone up? Why does the Chancellor think that savers are not enjoying the full benefits from rising interest rates in the same way that mortgage holders are feeling the full pain? Why does the Chancellor think that the UK has the highest inflation in the G7? And does he still think the government is on track with its own target of halving inflation by the end of the year? How does the Chancellor think that getting rid of house building targets will help increase home ownership? And finally, Mr. Speaker, 6 days ago, the Chancellor said in this House that he was proud of the government's economic record. With energy bills twice as high as they were last year, with food inflation close to 20% and with millions hit by the Tory mortgage bombshell, is he seriously saying that he is proud of that record? Mr. Speaker, people work hard to get on the housing ladder, yet dreams now risk becoming nightmares due to the decisions of this Conservative government. The Chancellor today has come to the House with a watered-down package that does not meet the task of dealing with the Tory mortgage bombshell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I'll deal with her specific points first.
She says these measures should be mandatory. So why did Labour oppose the intervention power in the Financial Services and Markets Bill that would have made that possible? She said that she wants action for savers, and I have indeed been talking to banks about action for savers, and we will keep the House updated. But what she carefully did not mention is that we actually secured on Friday more than Labour committed to, because our measures provide protection for people missing for payments not for 6 months, but for 12 months. But the main point, Mr. Speaker, is that she wants people to think that she is fiscally responsible. She won't take risks with inflation. So why on earth is she committed to borrowing £28 billion a year more, when as a former Bank of England economist she should know that will be inflationary and push up the cost of mortgages? Don't listen to me, Mr. Speaker. Listen to people like Paul Johnson of the IFS, who said about Labour's plans, and I quote, "Additional borrowing both pumps more money into the economy, potentially," and she may not want to hear this. This is what Paul Johnson says about Labour's plans. Quite, additional borrowing both pumps more money into the economy, potentially increasing inflation, and also drives up interest rates. It's Labour's mortgage bombshell, hidden in plain sight. Isn't the reason she doesn't want people is that she doesn't want people to notice the real comparison here, which is that her party faced an economic crisis in 2008, just as this government did last year. The difference is that we are taking the difficult decisions to restore sound money and public finances. They ducked each and every one of those decisions, ran out of money and left it to others to clear up the mess.
John Redwell.